Hello there and welcome to my Karazhan Crypts Attunement Guide for Classic Season of Discovery. This brand new dungeon has just launched with Phase 7 of Season of Discovery, and there is a bit of a attunement required to do this dungeon. So in this video I'm going to talk you through it. It will take a little bit of time, a lot of travel time, but it is definitely worth it in the end. But before we jump into that, I do want to give a huge shout out to everyone over on the Patreon. Just started posting over there fairly regularly, so if you do want to support me over on Patreon, I'll leave a link down below. Right, so yes, Karazhan Crypts is here with Phase 7. This was not publicly tested on the PTR and is now available on the live realms on Season of Discovery. Karazhan Crypts is a 5-man level 60 dungeon, which is pretty difficult. The gear that drops here is equivalent to Blackwing Lair, pretty much. So yeah, this is a very, very good gear that drops from here, but it is pretty difficult, so you will need to be fairly geared to jump into it. This is not going to be kind of an entry-level endgame dungeon, but it is very good. I'm not going to give too many spoilers here in regards to what happens inside the dungeon, but it is a great time, and I highly recommend doing this attunement and jumping in for yourself. So, let's talk about the attunement. So the attunement starts over in the Light's Hope Chapel over in Eastern Plaguelands. This is going to start with a wanted poster outside the chapel, and this will give you the quest for Gold and Glory. This quest has you heading down to the Karazhan Crypts. The crypts are located on the left-hand side of Karazhan on the map just here. When you get down there, you're going to find a deceased adventurer on the ground. You're going to hand that quest in, and a big purple orb will appear around you. It's a very cool effect. After that's all done, you will get a new quest called No Ordinary Shadows. This will have you heading north in Deadwind Pass over to a member of the Kirin Tor called Agent Kiana. Now once that's handed in, Kiana will give you a new quest called Seeking Survivors. This quest is going to have you heading back down south in Deadwind Pass over to the Groshgok compound, the Ogre area in the southeast of the zone. Inside the larger cave there, you're going to head all the way to the back and find the Injured Adventurer. Now this quest can be handed in once the adventurer is in the cage. There might be quite a few people around, so just wait for him to respawn back in the cage and you'll be able to hand in that quest. Just be patient here. It does, yeah, classic be classic. There's a lot of people around. Once that quest is handed in, you will get a new quest called To the Rescue. Now this is to find the cage key and free him. Now the cage key does drop from ogres in the area, so you just want to kill those, but if you don't want to do that, you can just wait around and wait for someone else to free him. Once someone else frees him with the key, that'll just trigger the quest being completed. So yeah, if there's plenty of people around, just kind of wait there and wait for someone to open it. Once that quest is completed, you want to head back up north to the camp and hand it into Harrison Jones. Yes, Harrison Jones is making his first appearance in Classic WoW. I believe his first appearance in the game was around Zulaman in Burning Crusade, so it's really cool to see them using that character. From him, you'll get a new quest called Are You Afraid of the Dark, which is a pretty simple quest, just to speak to Agent Kiana right next to him. And handing that in, we'll start the next quest called The Hypothesis, and this is the one that's going to take you a little bit of time. So for this quest, you need to collect 3 items from around Azeroth. The first item is the Flame of Life. Now this drops from dragons around Grim Bateau in Eastern Wetlands. So you want to head up there and kill any of the red dragons over there. The drop rate is fairly decent, but they are elite, so you may need some help killing them. But if you are powerful enough, you can just solo these and get the drop there. So it's just going to take a bit of time to kill those as they have quite a lot of health. Once you have that item, you want to get the Ancient Ironwood Branch. So this can come from 2 places. Now this does drop from the first boss in the Demonfall Canyon. This is the new dungeon in Classic. Now this dungeon does require an attunement. This is just one quest that starts in Southern Feralus in this area here that has you going over to Winterspring to kill some Owlkin. It's very easy. But if you're not attuned and you don't want to do Demonfall Canyon, there is another option. You can go to Diamol West and kill Tendris Warpwood, which is the first boss in there. Either of these ancients will drop the Ancient Ironwood Branch for you. So yeah, pretty simple there. There's going to be plenty of groups just going in there and killing the first boss. The final thing you need is an Enthusiastic Wisp. This is in the most southern part of Winterspring in Dark Whisper Gorge. So you want to run through here. There's going to be a ton of elites here. Hopefully there's people around killing them or you're able to get away from them. But yeah, you may die running down here. But it is in this location here on the map at the very, very southern tip of Winterspring. There's even some people like offering summons and things like that. So maybe you could do that if you want to save time. But yeah, you want to head to the southern part of Winterspring and click the Enthusiastic Enthusiastic Wisp. Once you have all 3 of those items, you want to head back to Kiana in Deadwing Pass and hand that quest in. From there, you get a new quest called Testing Out the Hypothesis. This is a pretty simple quest for you to head back down to the Karazhan Crypts and click the torch which she has created for you. This can be a little bit finicky, so just kind of walk around clicking it, and then eventually you'll get the credit for it. Classic being classic, you have to head back up to Kiana once again in the north of the zone, and that is it. Completing that quest will give you the attunement to Karazhan Crypts. There's no special item or anything like that. You can just simply enter the dungeon from then on. So yeah, not the most difficult quest in the world, but certainly going to take a little bit of time if you can't get around the world easily, but very much has the feel of a classic WoW attunement. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is the attunement to Karazhan Crypts. Let me know down below if you have any tips or tricks for this to just help out with traveling or getting this done a bit faster. But it took me around about an hour and 40 to finish all of this, just from like running around and doing things. So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I am on Patreon as mentioned, and I'm on Twitter, Mr. GMYT, and I also have a partner Discord channel as well, and I'm also streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, War Within, Season of Discovery, all that good stuff, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.